Today's the day, September 3rd. 6 months until we leave for France. My wife's not here right now. I am trying to celebrate. I'm trying to be happy. I'm trying to get the final paperwork together and submit the document today so that we can be done with that stage of it. Like, the application will be submitted and we should be able to get on to TLS, find an appointment, book everything else that comes after that, because that is literally the holding point. You submit the application, then you're able to get into the TLS system, book an appointment. I have had a realization today that not all the paperwork needs to be done today, because you're not submitting it until you go to that appointment. Now, granted, if there's an appointment a couple days from now, you might not have time to put that all together. So it's up to your timeline. Be careful of that. If you're trying to leave next week, well, yeah, you need all the paperwork together today. We're not leaving for 6 months. When will we get that appointment? Give some flexibility to the time that takes to process, I suppose is the word I was looking for. I keep getting a little distracted because I'm just nervous about what to say, but I'm frustrated. I have felt like all these milestones are coming one after another, and I'm having these victories, like, I have completed this task, I have completed the next task. And I need to very clearly state, like, my wife has been amazing to watch the children, give me time to complete all these tasks. Like, without her doing that, it wouldn't happen. And so, while I'm frustrated right now that there's nobody to celebrate this moment with, I also have to appreciate that she created that space for me to complete the task. It's just hard because it's lonely. Anyways, I'm sharing with you, and we are moving to France. The application's in, and hopefully we will know soon enough.
Though we love to roam in the shadow of the Alps, we found our home. New language on our tongues, connecting with foreign lands. From the Rockies to the Alps, we seek a path to fill our souls. Beneath the same moon, our spirits rise as a clan. The passion that burns inside us, hotter than red hot coals. Come along. So here's to the journeys, the paths out of frame. Come along. We will never be the same.
Welcome to the Up Late Update.
Good evening. You guessed it. Wife's asleep. Kids asleep. Time for an update. Cheers. So, Last time I talked to you, I was submitting the paperwork to the French Consulate website for the application for a French visa, which would then lead to scheduling an appointment with TLS Contact. That was 72 hours ago now. I was planning to do a follow-up video that same day, kind of walking through the process, I guess reaction video to how it went. Obviously planning to kind of walk you guys through a bit of what it was like. I can't even express. There's a reason it was 72 hours ago. I can't express the disappointment I had that day. Just every part of it went wrong. I had filled out the paperwork correctly. I was prepared. I went in, I logged in, I hit submit, and it seemed like everything was fine. So I went, scheduled an appointment at TLS Contact, which that company is garbage, in my personal opinion. The website is awful, terrible to navigate, hard to even get to the parts you want to get to if you know where you're going. And when you do finally need some technical support, I just repeatedly got the answer, we can't help you. And I will get into more detail here in a second, but after I had scheduled an appointment, and it puts you on this little timer thing, like you got to pay in this amount of time to keep the appointment. Well, everything I had heard up till that point was, it's really hard to get an appointment, so you need to schedule quickly and efficiently. So without a lot of time to question the process, I just went through it. Paid, was done, at which point I had tried to add my wife to the appointment, but it said that she couldn't be added because the reference number that I was trying to use, which was the same reference number I had, wasn't allowed. Well, called tech support to try and figure that out and get her added to the appointment, because the application listed me and my whole family. They just don't want to help you. Like, just straight out the gate. Like, I will tell you, that was actually their answer. They are not interested in advising you. They are not interested in helping you figure out what the right thing next was. It took, I think it was 3 phone calls and an hour of inquiry to finally get one guy to like kind of allude to what I had done wrong. And even then I wasn't sure that I had done that part wrong. But basically on the French website, each person, therefore each passport, requires its own application for a visa, which will spit out its own reference number. So each application has a reference number, and that's required for each person traveling on a passport. All seemed very straightforward if it was just spelled out like that, and I would have had all that paperwork done way ahead of time, as I already had for myself, thinking they're traveling on my visa. At this stage, given the knowledge I have presently, that wasn't the case, and I had to go in and add each one of my family over and over again. It's quite a long process, especially if you're traveling with family. They want you to list the entire family, as well as all of your own credentials. And then you do that again and again and again. In a group, so luckily it's all sort of attached in some way. My wife and all 4 of my children are now connected to the same application. I, however, am on my own application. And that became necessity based on the situation that as soon as I paid for TLS to book that appointment, there's no refunding it. There's no going back. So I can cancel, try to plea for a refund. Well, I've read some of the fine print on their website, and they do not refund your money unless there's some like unforeseen consequence, like the consulate cancels your appointment, or it's not even worth going into. It just doesn't happen unless there's another reason. You can't just personally change your mind. It was a lot of money. I was okay when it was just the one appointment, thinking, oh wow, okay, that's our TLS cost, our visa fee for all of us. And I could get into this, and I'm already kind of rabbiting on here, but it feels excessive, because on the French website it says one thing, on the TLS website it's a totally different price, and as soon as you start adding different people, kids and adults, in different group sizes, the prices just fluctuate, even though it's supposed to be a standard amount per person. And so that's really frustrating. But we ended up getting all 6 of us our individual applications, and I filed all 5 of them, because I had already had an appointment. So I filed all 5 of them on the same account for my wife, which makes sense because she's the adult and she's going to have to go for all the minors who cannot go into the building. So at that point, there's a group of 5, and it says there's no appointments. For days and days, it said there's no appointments. So I finally call back in and I start pushing for inquiry again. And the guy says, oh, you've done this wrong. You have to create a new email and start all the applications over again. I don't know who tells you to create a new email. Like, you've done this wrong, create a new email. Their company won't allow them to unlock your email to make adjustments or corrections. It's a damn mess. It's like if you're trying to apply a sticker, you get one chance. If it wrinkles, it's wrong. If you drop it in the sand, it's ruined. There's one chance to get it on perfectly. If you mess it up, there's no going back. From what I understand. I kept pushing. Since I had not paid, and I knew this from the first conversations I had had, we hadn't paid. So there was an opportunity for him to unlock that account and me to delete 2 people, which then brought my party amount down to 3. Magically, appointments opened up, and then I had to book 2 of my kids separately. Luckily, not having to submit new applications through the French website, their reference numbers were still good because they hadn't been officially marked on TLS and paid for. That was nerve-wracking on its own because my kids can't go to the appointment on their own. But it just is not set up to be efficient for a family, or just in general for like a person to be successful at this. Yeah, sorry, my battery's gonna be low.